Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and thanks so much for joining me, folks. I absolutely treasure your presence here today, and my outcome is to help you to become a better money master. But mostly, folks, it is to provide you with the tools that will help you to lead an inspired life, because leading an inspired life, folks, that is what it's all about. You know, the Olympics came to a close last night, and all kinds of success stories out there. I hope you would agree with me. It was really a successful Olympics out there, and that's really one of the tools, that's the tool that I do want to talk to you about this morning here. Quickly, if we take a look at the markets, you've got the markets relatively flat, the Dow going between negative and positive, just slightly. The same here with the S&P futures contract. Right now it's trading out at 1401 even. NASDAQ futures up 1/4 point. So relatively flat market out there. Our call-in number is 877-927-6648. You can always watch us on TigerTV if you aren't already. You can go to the homepage at TFN.com. You can click on TigerTV. You'll be able to see this show live. You can always bookmark that on your phone, as well as the audio version if you want to. TFNN.mobi, or as you're at the homepage on your mobile device, just over on the right-hand side, you can click on the area that's got some little red diamonds around it, and you can bookmark that on your phone. So we're just one click away. So the Olympics are over. Absolutely success out there. All kinds of success stories, right? But what is success if you really think about it? What is success to you? I mean, each of you, each of us, we've all achieved different levels of success, really from the moment that you were born out there. But what is it? How is it that you measure success? We all measure it a little bit differently. But when you think about success, there's certain elements that success has no matter what. Think about it like this. Take a look at all of the athletes that participated in the games and won medals. What percentage of folks won medals? A small percentage. Yet everybody else that was at the Olympics, they made it there. They were successful, weren't they? How about the stories of folks that came back from difficulties, folks that had maybe missed the mark in a prior Olympic and dedicated another 4 years? Even some of those folks only made it to 4th place. Were they successful? You know, would you classify that as successful? One thing that success has in common for each of us is what? Exactly. It has failure. Yet what happens is, and you want to use this when you're trading these markets, you certainly want to be able to use this in your life out there, is you need to recognize that success also has failure. In fact, failure is the leading ingredient in success. It is for you. It is for me. It was for Walt Disney. It was for Thomas Edison. It was for everyone out there, folks. You know, it's as easy as riding a bike out there, right? Likely the first time that you rode a bike, you fell. Myself, I ran into a mailbox, a curb, skinned my chin. Yet, you know, typically I used to spend I used to ride at least 17 miles a day out there, 6-7 days a week. I'm going to get back into doing that. But but that didn't stop me, you know, hitting the curb, having failure out there. And so what you don't want to do is, if you are dealing with some element of failure in your life, you don't want that to be, it's nothing more than a little roadblock, a little detour. And like a little ant, what you'll do is you'll go up, you'll go over, you go around, you'll go underneath. You need to recognize that when you do have failures, that just means you're that much closer to success. You don't want to fear it. You don't want to run away from it. You want to recognize it and just simply move on. You know, I thought last week I talked to you about Oscar Pistorius, you know, the double amputee. You've heard enough. You've probably seen enough about him. And you would think, you know, and from South Africa, great success story, right? There's an even better success story, especially if you're a music lover. And this is a story that most folks don't know about. There are some out there that do. But the greatest 70s rock icon, if I asked you to picture in your mind, who might that be? You know, the greatest 70s rock icon. Some of you might say maybe it was Elvis out there. You'd come up with all kinds of names. Well, the greatest 70s rock icon that never was is a guy named Sixto Rodriguez. Now, those folks from South Africa, those folks who've got influence in South Africa or, you know, are familiar with apartheid, would just simply know the name Rodriguez. Absolutely. Folks, this is a guy that actually went from the sewer to stardom out there. This is a guy from Detroit. He actually, in the 70s, was found in a bar called The Sewer in Detroit. Some of you folks probably even know of that bar. Maybe not too many of you listening out there. But this guy, in fact, if you don't know anything about it, go ahead and search him on the internet. There's a movie that was released in 2012. Go watch that movie, because if you are looking for inspiration, there is no more inspiration from this. The short story on this, here's a guy, great lyricist, absolutely great. You listen to his songs, and he joined up with a couple guys that were going to make him successful. They ended up going bankrupt. He ended up working about three decades of his life in construction, hauling things up his back. He went from the sewer to worse than the sewer. He stopped going after his dream out there, but yet his songs actually somehow made it over into South Africa. And in South Africa, folks, he was bigger than Elvis. He was bigger than the Beatles out there. He was bigger than everyone. And a couple of guys from I believe from South Africa in fact, everybody thought that he was dead because they never heard any more of his music out there. And so a couple of guys were trying to understand, how did he die? Because the story was that he killed himself on stage. So these two guys, in fact, if you're looking for the story, it's called Searching for Sugar Man. Searching for Sugar Man. You can find that, I'm sure, by looking on the internet out there. But here's a guy, folks, that these two guys ended up finding him, through the use of technology, through the use of the internet, found him, told him that he was this legend out there. He didn't believe it, flew over there, and just simply was just at the most amazing concert. Here's a guy that really, truly went from the sewer to absolute stardom out there. In fact, the most of the money now that he has accumulated, he's giving away to charity out there. Lives a relatively simple life. But you want to tell, there's inspiration all over the place. What I don't want you to do is, I don't want you to let 30 years pass you by. You're going to run into failures out there. Learn from that story of Rodriguez out there, and when you get those failures, just simply pound down, just keep moving through. That's what the markets do. Let's go take a look at the markets out here right now. If we take a look at the ES Mini, looks like right now it's trying to make an A to B equals CD down. Your trade out at 13.99.75. If we take a look at that AB equals CD down pattern here, we'd start up at the high. We're looking at a 10-minute chart, so a very intraday chart out here. If we take a look at that, the high out here came in at 720 right now, 1404. The B point that I would use on this on the 10-minute chart is at 830 when it made a low of 1400.50. Just retraced one bar. Looks like the ES Mini really headed to the 1398 area. If we take a look at what this is all about, what you would take a look at, it's really always about the currency markets out here. So that's where it is that we really need to start, because if you've been up since early this morning, you've watched the futures market go negative, go positive, go negative again. And what it's always all about, folks, is understanding what's going on in the currency marketplace. And where would you start? Well, you might as well say, I was over in Europe. Let's go start. Let's go back over to Europe. Let's go take a look at the Queen. Let's go take a look at the Queen Euro. And we just simply start with the daily chart. Now, on the daily chart, what we know that we have out here is that last Friday, what we saw the euro starting to pull back after it made its first leg up off of the bottom. That first leg up off of the bottom started on the July 24th date when it was at a low of 1.20411. Made it all the way up when it formed two doji candles. That was telling us what, folks? That was telling us that the move up was absolutely losing steam out there. Lost steam. You can see that confirmation on August 8th when you had a lower close. What do you do then? You start retracing back to one of three levels. Which levels? Exactly, 0.382, 0.618, and 0.786. On Friday, you had the euro get below the 0.382 level, closed right on the 0.382 level. What is it going to do there? Well, then it starts to do a retracement. I'm going to go to an intraday chart. We'll see what those retracements are. Right now, it looks like the euro actually is setting up the C point, or has set up the C point of an A to B equals CD down. Always important to take a look at both the daily charts, then drill down, understand what's going on underneath the covers. Let's go take a look and see what that looks like underneath the covers. And we're going to put up here, I can put up a 120-minute chart. Then we can put up a 60, 30, and so forth. If we take a look at the 120-minute chart here, if you're following along on the screen, you're seeing a number expansions and contractions between swing points. That's what these lines are. If we're taking a look at swing points are nothing more than major intersections. Just think about them as major intersections, just as if you were driving down the street. Where's the major intersection out here off of the highs? Well, one of your major intersections was the high that came in at 10 o'clock on August the 7th, when they had the euro up at the 1.24407 mark. Major intersection. How about a major intersection if we take a look at the low, where you see a definite change in trend in the marketplace? Well, that change in trend that we would look at would be down at the 10 o'clock time frame. That came in at a low of 1.22403. Now, there's another intersection all the way back if you look further left here, folks, right? So as the euro was making its move down into the 10 o'clock time frame on Friday, what it was also doing, it made a 1.618 expansion, right? So you know 0.382, 618, and 786. And which expansion numbers are you going to use? Exactly again, 1.272 and 1.618. What do you have coming? When you've got two intersections that come together, folks, with sacred geometry numbers, that is telling you, it is screaming out to you that you're looking for a change in trend out there. Well, what did you have at that 10 o'clock time frame? You had that 1.618 expansion. You had that 0.618 retracement area there. That's where you see that last major intersection out there. Now, as the euro is moving up intraday this morning, we'll drill down. We'll take a look at the intraday charts. But you can see here on the 120-minute chart, as it was moving up, folks, coming up against an intersection here where it was a 0.786 retracement. Coming up against the major intersection up here at the highs at 10 o'clock where it was a 0.618 retracement out there. Now, what you can see here is the last expansion that it had said 1.75. Is that close enough for you for 1.618? It's close enough for me, folks. So in essence, you've got three Fibonacci numbers coming together at the same place. Is it any wonder that the euro has to take a time out here? That point may in fact be the A to B equals CD down. What would that look like, folks? If that were the case, very simple. We'd go ahead and start off here at the 10 o'clock time frame. We'd start out 10 o'clock, meaning on August 7th, out at the 1.24407. We come all the way down to that low that was put in at 10 o'clock on Friday, and then all the way up to the high. This again is on the 120-minute chart at the 8 o'clock time frame. What would that do? That would send the euro all the way back down to this 1.215 level, coming all the way back to this major intersection from August the 2nd out there. That, folks, is absolutely one of the possibilities. Now let's just drill down here just a little bit further. Let's go see underneath the covers of the 120-minute chart what we have. Let's drill down, let's say as far as we really want to drill down. Let's drill down to the 10-minute chart. Well, now, we take a look at the 10-minute chart out here. You can see just simply coming off of this swing point here at 3 o'clock in the morning on August 9th, all the way down to the low that was put in at 9:40 in the morning on Friday. What you can see is that 0.786 retracement. And there you can see the euro right now trading at the low of this 10-minute bar here. It's running into what? It's running into two hammer candles. Folks, the line has been drawn in the sand on the euro. It is a beautiful thing. That low out there, right around 1.23374, you got two of Steve's hammer candles. If it breaks below that, folks, and you're long the euro, you are wrong. If you're long, you're wrong if you break that hammer. 877-927-6648. Love being here with you, folks. We'll be right back.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on TigerTV with her small cap roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Masters Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Let's see if we go around the world. Take a look right now. You got the DAX trading off about 3 points out at 69.41. The FTSE off about 16 points out at 58.31. Over in Asia last night, all red arrows. The Nikkei down 6 points. The Hang Seng off 54. The Shanghai off 34 points last night. Let's start here taking a look at the DAX. What we have with the DAX, you're taking a look at a 0.786 Gartley sell pattern. That pattern here completed on the August the 6th out there. What you can see is the DAX has just simply been trading sideways here for the last 5 trading sessions out there. Has not broken that 0.786 level. If it does break through there, what you will see is you'll see a run up to the highs in that 71.94. But right now you got that 0.786 level here holding well. If we go take a look over in what else we want to take a look at? Let's go take a look at gold. Let's start off taking a look at gold. Right now you've got gold trading off $1, so no big deal there. Trading out at 16.21. What you can see here on gold, if you take a look at the 200-day moving average right now on that chart, that would be this black line right here. The 200-day moving average happens to be 16.23. You're trading at 16.22. Gold tried breaking above it again on Friday. Got up to a high of 16.2970 and closed out the session at 16.23. Closed right on that line. I don't know the reason why that 200-day is acting as a resistance area, but it is. If you get a break breakout above that, what gold will do is gold will travel to this descending tops line, going all the way back to the highs that gold made in September of 2007 when it traded up at that 1923 level, September the 6th out there. That would be your trend line. That would be the beginning of your trend line. Your next touch point would be out at the highs in February of 2012. But gold is going to have to break through there. Certainly it is making higher lows. It is not making higher highs, though, at the moment. Just simply sideways when it gets up into that area. If we take a look at silver, high-ho silver. Silver right now down 10 cents out at $27.99. What's holding silver in check happens to be the 50-day exponential moving average. So in gold, it's the 200. In silver, it happens to be the 50. The 50-day right now is at $27.94. You've got silver trading out at $27.96. You get a nice break above this, and silver has got probably further to travel. Silver will then travel up into the 50-day, but more likely into that descending tops area. That descending tops comes all the way back to the highs that it also made when silver was out at the price point of $44.27, August 23rd, 2011. That's one touch point. Your next touch point on your descending tops line is going to be the February 29th level. That was David White's birthday. And so that is your descending tops. That is on silver. If we take a look at nat gas out here, natural gas here, trading out at the making its point, has already made a 0.382 retracement off of the strong move off of the lows. The strong move off of the lows takes you back to that April 20th time frame out at 1.902. That was on April the 20th. Makes a high out here July 31st out at 3.277. So far, all it's done is what it needed to do, which was a 0.382 retracement. I do believe that natural gas has got further to fall. If you take a look, let me just erase some of these lines out here. It might make it a little bit easier for you to follow along on Tiger TV. So let's do that. Then we'll come take a look at it. If you take a look, let me just redraw the AB equals CD out here. So the 8-point on this is going to be the high, that little doji candle that it made right out here, July 31st, that high, again, 3.27. Your B point on this is going to be the low that came in on August 6th. Your C point is the high out here on August 9th. What you can see is that you've got price traveling inside the C to D leg, meaning that the C to D leg has got more energy, more power than that A to B leg. That tells me you got to the 0.382 level. You should rest when you get to one of those retracement areas. You should find some resistance, or support in this case here. On the way down, on the way up, you would be coming into a resistance area. So it has found that natural level of support. Looks to me like what you're going to see. You're going to see it travel down maybe as low as 2.4. That would be the 0.618 of the move. Just simply have to pay attention as natural gas makes its D points. You've got to take a look and watch those leading indicators. Those are the candles out there. Real quickly here, if we take a look at light sweet crude, trading up 70 cents. We've got higher prices in the pumps, folks. That is the real tax in life out there. Take a look at light sweet crude. It wants to trade up to $98.28. Trading out right now at $93.60. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. like a personal update from Tom O'Brien as to what equities he's trading and what his daily trading plan is before the market opens each morning? Every market day, Tom O'Brien sends out his daily newsletter, Market Insights, to hundreds of subscribers that rely on his daily recommendations when it comes to navigating these highly volatile markets we're dealing with. As recently as May 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out all 5 open positions for a combined profit of over 68% in one day. Profits ranged from 6.5% to over 24%, and all of these trades had been initiated within the previous 30 days. Now is the perfect time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's explosive trading newsletter, Market Insights, an $85 value. Tom breaks down the market each morning with his market take and provides trade recommendations including precise stops and target profit zones, leaving nothing left to guessing. Log on to tfnn.com today and sign up for your 2-week free trial. Make sure you're a subscriber the next time Market Insights subscribers close out multiple winning trades. Take action and sign up for your free trial today. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of tfnn.com and sign up now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're off to the races. You got the Dow off 32 points. S&P's off 3, Composite down 2, small caps off 1, Microsoft down a tick, Intel off 13, Google up $6 and change right now, Cisco up 4 pennies, Apple up $2.83. If we take a look at what is moving and what is grooving, moving to the upside, you've got Google up $7, Salesforce Innovation, CRM up about 3.5%, up $5 this morning, Sears Holdings, SHLD up 6%, they're up $3. You've got Visteon Corp, VC, up $3. That's up 10%. So that's up nicely this morning. Apple then behind them, up a couple bucks and change. Tesoro Corp, TSO, up $2. Campbell's Soup, CPB out there, they're up $1 right now. That's what's leading things to the upside. To the downside, Monster Beverage continuing with a little bit of follow through. We know that was taken off of the IBD 50, and rightfully so. That thing gapping down out there. If we take a look at Monster Beverage, only trading off $1 right now, but just simply continuing with an A to B equals CD down. Also to the downside, you've got Fusion IO, FIO. They're down 66 cents, no big deal. There, you've got Synacor, excuse me, SYNC. Trading down 7%. That's off 71 cents. Coach, COH, they're off 47 cents. So not a lot moving to the downside. Let's go take a look at what is and isn't moving out there. So let's go start with Google, GOOG. Let's go see what Google is doing out here. Trading up right now, $7 and change out at 649 even. So we take a look at Google. Google running into a couple of strong overhead resistance areas. That first one that it is above is the gap down from January 19th. Big gap down January 19th to the 20th. Came down with 10.5 million shares. Not even close to getting back up with any kind of volume out there. If we take a look at the next gap down area, that was in the April 13th date. That high out there, 624.60. No, I'm sorry, 648.99. You're at 649 right now. It's really the swing point, which is the day before, which is April 12th. That high out there, 653.14, 5.7 million shares. So far, just the early stages of trading here, a couple 100,000 shares has traded. Looks like Google wants to get up into the March 28th low, which would be 651.08, into the high of April 12th. And it's going to need a lot more volume as it gets up into that area. That is on Google. Let's go take a look at Salesforce Innovation, CRM out there. Salesforce Innovation trading up this morning, up 3%. A little gap up there, trading out 144.27. Let's go see what this is running into. This had a fairly wide gap, not a gap, but a downdraft that began April 10th. It is not in that area here right now. It's in the candle. So what that says is Salesforce Innovation is likely headed to 149.80 or 144.55. The most recent swing point out there is May 22nd. That's got 3 million shares, but that downdraft there has got 9.6 million shares. So far today, you've done 469,000 shares. That could possibly be taking a look at a possible $144 possible short trade out here. What you've got to pay attention to on this, it's also going to run into the supply line here where it did gap up. Salesforce Innovation did gap up here on February 24th. Got up to a high of 146 and change, 14 million shares out there. We'll see how that area gets handled. I'd wait for that area to get handled first because this thing did have resistance as it came back into that price range when it gapped up, which was February 23rd. That low was 127.05 out there. That's on Salesforce Innovation. Let's go take a look at Apple. Apple right now trading up a few bucks. Apple having made a Gartley sell pattern out there, trying to bust through that. That Gartley sell pattern here, it's slightly above that area, which is 620. It's at 626 right now. If it really busts through this, Apple wants to then head up to 644. Apple is really testing the swing point of April 10th. So that's really your line drawn in the sand here. If you can close inside April 10th, then I say it's going to bust that 0.786 Gartley pattern out there. That would, Gartley sell pattern out there, that would send Apple not only to the high of April 10th, that could send it into a butterfly pattern out there. That April 10th area on Apple, 31 million shares. Friday, it did 6.9. So Apple's going to need a whole lot of Apple juice to get rolling as it gets up into that area. It's inside that swing point right now, but it's really going to need some Apple juice out there. We take a look at Visteon Corp. VC is the ticker symbol. Let's go see what Visteon Corp is doing. Trading up this morning here about 10%. So having a nice move, trading out at 42.69. Let's see, is there anything, what's the reason behind this 10% move out here on Visteon Corp? Nothing that I see as a reason. So other than, let's see, you've got the CEO, Vice Chairman and CEO, Don Stebbins, stepping down. So apparently the shareholders didn't like him as a CEO. Visteon Corp had some nice wide price spread and movement as it came off of the bottom here on August 7th, did 3.2 million shares. So you're just continuing with the follow through here. Visteon Corp, let's go see. Okay, so this is maybe an IPO. Let me refresh my screen here. And then we'll go back and we'll take a look at, so this is, okay, so this is an IPO. Came out here in September 28, 2008. $49.10. Price point range was about $49 to $51. You're trading at $42 right now. There were not a whole lot of, no wonder they wanted to get rid of the CPO. Not a whole lot of shareholders that were happy August 3rd as this made a low of $27. Made a low of $27 out there. And this thing has had volume off of the top. First time was March 9th out there. Let's see, and that was really the only time where you had some volume off of the top here. Let's put this on just simply, even though it's been out here trading for a short period of time, let's put this on a weekly chart, see what this thing is going to be running into out here. So, you know, it should find some support really at last week. Of course, the wide price range on that, the real support is at $28.23 or $42.50 right now. This thing could, well, let's just take a look at the retracement from the high all the way down to the low. You know, where it's headed to is the 45.98 area. That's just simply the 0.382 retracement of its move down. Let's go take a look at not a lot moving really to the downside here. Leading dollar-wise, National Oil Well Varco NOV is the ticker symbol, only down 1% down, 85 cents out there. So I don't expect we're going to see much on this chart. In fact, we're not going to see anything on this chart really worth notating out there. So to the downside, not a lot to truly take a look at. Let's go take a look at the, let's go back to the euro here real quickly. Let's go see how those hammer candles are doing. We're taking a look at the 10-minute chart on the euro. You can see that the price got in there and so far has been rejected. Again, the prices you want to be paying attention to on the euro are going to be in that 1.23374 level. You got two hammers here on the 10-minute chart. That means if we went to a 20-minute chart, we would see another hammer candle out there. Let's just see what it actually looks like on the 30-minute chart on the time frame. Out of curiosity here. No, not on the 30-minute chart out there. But on the 10-minute chart, that's what you want to be paying attention to. That is on the euro out there. If we go take a look at the King dollar, see what the King is doing here. The King having made a 3 drive to a bottom pattern. It did that here, completed that pattern on August the 7th. The first drive down took place on July 19th when it made a low of 82.80. Your second drive down July 27th at a low of 82.40. And that third and final drive was August 7th as it made a low of 82.07. Made two beautiful 1.272 expansions as it was doing that. Made a 0.786 retracement. Made a 0.382 retracement there. The low of 82.07, something else you absolutely want to have on your calendar. If that low gets taken out, the U.S. dollar will travel much, much lower. King dollar will travel much, much lower. I'm not sure if that's what I said or not. The euro would travel much higher out there. You could say, well, Steve, how much lower? Well, since it already made it back to the 0.382 level, what would be the next level? Absolutely, 0.618. All you got to do is go from the major intersection low out here, May 1st, May Day out there, that low being 78.67 all the way up to the high that was put in on the 24th of July. So you can see that 0.382 level. If that area gets busted, 80.80 would be the target on the U.S. dollar index. Let's go take a look at the ETF structures out here. You know, we've had no volume all of last week. Can't imagine that we're going to see any volume today as the markets continue to kind of crawl up higher. My expectation is that the markets will move higher into Thursday. If we take a look at the ETF structure out here, so there we go. I want to find the shorter term time frame out here. Take a look at the open. Let's go take a look at, let's start with the small caps. So if we take a look at the small caps, I just need to refresh my screen here, make sure I get a good data dump, good data feed out here. Well, there we go. Okay, so now we're taking a look at the correct chart here on the small caps. This thing here this morning really doing not a whole lot, opening and moving just really, you know, folks, absolutely doing nothing. And you got the Russell 2000 down a point here. So if we take a look now, small caps absolutely struggling out here. So let's actually take a look at the daily chart. Might be easier as we take a look at the daily chart here. Probably on all of these this early in the morning. So let's do that. Let's look at the IWM. Let's see what the IWM here is doing. Right now, the IWM struggling, truly struggling with the supply line that goes back into the April 10th time frame. The high on that is $80.16. cents. Has not been able to get up and above that area. So while the market continues to try to crawl higher, the small caps not participating at all. Absolutely weak out there. If you just simply take a look at a trend line, you go back to the high out here on March 27th. That high was at $84.66. And what you would do is just simply what I would do is just take a look at that next high out here on July 5th at $81.84 out there. So you've got some really strong resistance. That resistance, remember, the small caps, where you've got all the other ETFs getting into the May 1st swing point, in the case of the SPYs, are actually getting into the April 2nd area, I believe. The small caps already tested May 1st. That May 1st swing point on the small caps had 60 million shares. As it came into it, it made a high on July 5th with 42 million shares, 32 million shares the day before on July 3rd, and then gave it up. That's why I'm using that July 5th time frame as my next touch point on my descending tops area, because you've already had the small caps test that May 1st area. That means they do not really need to go back up there, and I don't expect the small caps to get back up there. I expect the small caps to really be kept in check here between the downdraft that we're looking at on April 10th as well as that descending tops area. If we go take a look at the Qs out here, let's go see what the Qs are doing, with Apple being up $6, with Google being up $6, and the Qs really not moving. So the Qs, just like Apple, showed that 0.786 Gartley area. Qs really not doing too much. The Qs would like to complete a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. That would get your price up to 67.30. Will the in the Qs here also inside the downdraft? That downdraft here is May 3rd. It's inside the candle of May 3rd, but what it's really doing, it's really got its eyes set because it's inside this May 1st swing point. That May 1st swing point low is $66.59. The high out there, $67.63. So at $67.30, you'd complete a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. At $67.63, you would complete the test of the May 1st. That May 1st swing point has 37 million shares. You know, as you got up into it on Friday, 20 million shares the day before. Basically nothing but 20 million share days most of last week. Monday, you did have 28 million shares. Just simply not enough juice, apple juice, to bust up and through it. But the Qs still want to travel higher into that area. If we take a look at the SPYs out there, the SPYs we'll see are traveling not just inside the May 1st swing point, but traveling also inside the April 2nd swing point. That April 2nd swing point, 151 million shares. You came into it last week with 99 million shares. That was the highest. 109 actually was the highest on Monday. Rejected that area on Monday. However, you have closed back in there. So you're taking a look at trading also inside the May 1st swing point. That has the easier one to deal with. That only has 138 million shares out there. Just simply not enough energy. Expect, though, that May 1st area to get tagged in the SPYs. That is the 141.66. As I say, I suspect that that will happen coming in by Thursday of this coming week, and that will then we'll get the next signal out there. Let's go take a look at, let's see, we've had a couple of changes here in leaders to the downside in the marketplace. Veeco Industries, VECO, they're trading off 5%, about 6% this morning. Let's go see what that is doing, VECO. Veeco here, gapping down. It has a high volume low. Okay, let's see. So now we just pull it back a little further and see what it actually is doing. So this thing gaps up here on May Day. So on May 1st, gaps up with 6.2 million shares, comes back and tests that area from April 30th. That April 30th had 2.5 million shares. That was tested with 1.7. This thing here now looks like it may be consolidating sideways. 877-927-6648. Dow's off 17. S&P's off 1. Composite up 1. We'll be right back, folks.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to check out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern on TFNN.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks, and a full lineup today. Following the Money Masters show, we'll go up to Basil Chapman from 11 to 12, 12 to 1, Larry Pesavento, then from 1 to 2, Daryl Martin, 2 to 3, David White, Ken Shreve from 3 to 4, and Tom O'Brien, 4 to 6. 9 hours of wonderful programming out here for you at TFNN. Let's go take a look at some of the stocks here in the IBD 50. You've got a number that have fallen off of the chart, those being Monster Beverage, Alta Salon, Geez, I think Ellie may have dropped off. ELLI dropped off. Priceline, Tractor Supply, Union Pacific, eBay, Western Refining. So let's go take a look at some of these stocks that have dropped off. So let's go back and take a look at Monster Beverage out here. MNST, Monster Beverage, having a big gap down last week, and right now completing a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, but it has further to fall. You're seeing it trade up just a tad here this morning, really trading out where it closed out. It closed out Friday's session at 54.27. You're at 54.30 right now. Monster Beverage is going to go ahead and close this gap out here, the gap that was left January 13th out at the price point of $47 and change. May want to travel lower than that. This thing has had volume come out of it a couple of times. Let's go take a look at that high flyer, Altasalon, ULTA. ULTA, believe that was on the IBD here list last week. This thing here, let's put this on a weekly chart. And let's see what Altasalon here is doing on a weekly chart, because it's really just been consolidating sideways, and it has this nice, looks like a hammer candle here, one of my hammer candles from May 11th out there, trading inside it here right now. So on Altasalon, what you'd want to do is you'd want to see a test, even though it's dropped out of the IBD, who cares? You'd want to see a test of 78.87 on a weekly chart. You'd like to see it test that area on less than 10 million shares. And may set up a nice little sideways trading range. This thing also has got, if it fails that area, where it will find some support is a December 2nd out there at the $74.79 price range. Ellie Mae, I thought, let's go take a look at ELLI is the ticker symbol. Did that have some problems? No. So maybe I somehow overlooked it, but that is had a nice move here. Mortgage company had a nice move up. This thing should, at some point in time, pull back to the area where it moved up on August 2nd. That would be in the 21 level. You're trading at 25.70 right now. If we go take a look at, let's see here. Let's go take a look at numero uno inside the IBD 50 right now. That would be Alexion Pharmaceuticals. ALXN is the ticker symbol. Let's go. That is trading down 47 cents here today. No great shakes, but let's go take a look at this. Was number 4, no longer number 4. Oh. Give me a moment here. I've just lost that chart. ALXN is the ticker symbol. So as we take a look at Alexion Pharmaceuticals here, let me pull this out. Trading out right now at 102.95, and this thing here has trading below its last high volume area, which was on August the 3rd. That low is 103.59. You're trading out at 102.89. This may want to head down into the swing point from July 23rd that has 1.8 million shares. Looks like maybe set up just really a small A to B equals CD down that would take you down likely into that area. I would be doing a 1 to 1.618, A to B equals CD. You can get this thing down here at the lows in that 95.17 on less than 1.8 million shares. Might be a little trade for you out there. Thanks for joining us, folks. Tom and I will be up next. If you're not sticking around, have a great Monday, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. Take care. We'll be right back.